Tyler from Aspire Sports. Today's video, I'm going to give you my top running back sleepers for the 2021 fantasy football season. Now, these are guys that are currently being drafted outside the top 30 at the running back position. So ADP does change as we get closer to draft season, especially like in the heart of draft season. So like the middle of August is really when everything's going to change. So make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all the latest content and smash that like button for me. So with that being said, let's get into the video. The first running back, Darrell Henderson. Now, he's not really part of the 5. I'm just including him in this because there is massive news. Currently, he's being drafted, I believe, as like running back number 42 or somewhere in that range. I expect he's going to skyrocket, all right? But I believe he should be drafted as RB number 14. And if he's not being drafted as RB number 14, then I believe that's value. Now, I have to redo my rankings a little bit and look at the projections for the Rams, but they've already come out. The Rams have came out and said that they're not going to sign anybody. So it's who they have on their roster right now. Darrell Henderson is the best running back on this roster. Other than that, a bunch of unproven guys, I believe, behind him is an undrafted rookie from last season. So there's not a whole lot of options. They don't have Malcolm Brown anymore. He went to Miami. So it's Darrell Henderson. He's the guy. This offense should be very good this upcoming season. A bunch of playmakers. You have Matthew Stafford. This defense is one of the best defenses in the NFL. So very good game scripts for him. His ceiling could be honestly as like RB number 5. Honestly, like this Rams offense, I would say Cam Akers could definitely be a top 5 running back if there is no Darrell Henderson. Now that there's no Cam Akers and it's Darrell Henderson, the sky's the limit for him. Like, he is the guy on an offense with one of the best offensive-minded coaches in the NFL that runs through their running back. So the sky's the limit for him. Honestly, like this is, if you have Darrell Henderson in dynasty leagues, congratulations this year because he could definitely be a league winner for you. Darrell Henderson should be drafted definitely inside the top 20. I believe inside the top 15 at the running back position. So first running back I just wanted to talk about, his ADP is going to absolutely rise as we get closer to draft season. So Darrell Henderson, he's the bonus number 1, all right? Bonus number 1. The first running back that I want to talk about, all right? He was the first guy. The bonus tip for Darrell Henderson, that was just a bonus. But James Conner is the first player I want to talk about. James Conner is coming into the situation in Arizona where there's no Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake's now with the Las Vegas Raiders. So James Conner, I firmly believe, is going to come in here and take that Kenyon Drake role. What was that role last season? Kenyon Drake saw 230 touches. He was primarily the first and second down back and also the goal line back, the red zone back, the guy that saw the touches down there. I believe that James Conner is going to be that. James Conner is better suited to be that guy than Kenyon Drake was last year. James Conner is 6'1", 233 pounds. 233 pounds. This is a bruiser back, all right? Somebody that is going to thrive in those situations. Somebody that's going to thrive in this offense. This is a guy over the past 3 years that's caught over 34 passes, okay? So this is no Joe Schmo in the passing game as well. In Pittsburgh, the year he erupted, he caught 55 passes. So this is somebody that can catch the ball in the backfield as well, and somebody that has been very, very efficient at the goal line, and a team that just got Rodney Hudson, the best center in the league, as their starting center, a team that has also upgraded their offensive line this offseason. So now you have this team last year. Kyler Murray got hurt for the second half of the season. You even have Kenyon Drake, 230 touches, and that's basically in 14 and a half games because he left a game early and didn't play the next game. So to me, he's just going way too late. He's currently being drafted as RB number 33. That's like 6-7 spots behind Chase Edmonds. I believe that Chase Edmonds is going to see much more volume in terms of the passing game, but in terms of goal line work, red zone work, James Conner is going to see way more than he is. Carries is going to see more than he is. And I believe some people are just sleeping on James Conner. I believe that James Conner is an absolute steal at where he's going. He's just going to miss some games, all right? If he can play 15 games this upcoming season, if he can play 15 games, absolutely will crush his current ADP. So James Conner, number 1. The second running back, Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon is currently being drafted as RB number 37. He's somebody that I've talked about in the past, but this is somebody that, honestly, the sky's the limit for him as well. This is somebody who, coming out of college, they said that he would be good in a zone running scheme, and that's exactly what San Francisco does, all right? There's a guy that went to Ohio State. He's 215 pounds. Currently, you have Jeff Wilson, who is on the PUP list, so he can't play for the first 6 weeks of the season. You have Raheem Mostert. Raheem Mostert came alive in 2019, second half of the season into the playoffs, was absolutely money. Last year showed some of that old self he had, okay? But he's also 29 years old, coming off of a injury-plagued season last year. Do we expect him to get any better than 2019? No, I don't believe so. Then they signed Wayne Gallman, but all of those running backs are this is the last year on their contract, so they won't be with the team next season. Trey Sermon, they just drafted him. They traded up to get Trey Sermon, right? This team traded up to get him in the 3rd round. So he's currently, in my eyes, the second running back on this roster. He's RB number 2 for them, right behind a guy in Raheem Mostert that's on a good day, maybe 200 pounds, 195 pounds, right? He's not somebody who's going to carry the rock a bunch of times for this team. So this is their guy going forward, I believe, and can easily win the starting job at some point in the season and be a potential league winner for this team, for your fantasy team, especially for getting him as RB number 37 right now. To me, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. This is somebody that I believe should be drafted higher than that. There's a bunch of potential for him. There's other guys that are going in his range that I like much more. I like him much more than them. So this is somebody that I just believe the sky's the limit. If everything goes right for him, he could definitely be a potential league winner for you. And it could, behind a couple of guys who are very injury prone. They've shown the past season. So Trey Sermon for me, RB number 2. Coming in as RB number 3 is going to be Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams is somebody that he's currently being drafted as RB number 43, but he's somebody that I believe has standalone value rather than needing DeAndre Swift to get hurt to have any value. We've already had Anthony Lynn come out and say that he's going to be a part of this offense, that he sees him as like a one back. I don't even remember what he referred to the term, but somebody that can be a 3-down back. Jamal Williams, to me, is also like a coach's pet, where he does everything pretty well. He doesn't do anything extremely well, but is pretty good at literally everything. He can pass block. He can catch the ball in the backfield. He's pretty solid in terms of ball security. He can run between the tackles. He can do it all. Don't get me wrong. DeAndre Swift is definitely the much better running back than Jamal Williams, but I believe that Jamal Williams, this is a team that's going to be pretty bad. Jamal Williams can be easily slotted in for like 8 to 10 touches per game. I would not be surprised by that. So somebody that can see 8 touches per game, maybe 12, is solid value for RB number 43. Like, he's going to have a much safer floor than a lot of those guys in that range currently. Somebody that, if DeAndre Swift gets hurt, he's the lead back. He's the bell cow in this offense. An offense that shouldn't be very good, but RB number 2 week in and week out if DeAndre Swift misses time, just based upon volume alone. So I think that currently where he's going, RB number 43, he can outperform that week to week just based upon the volume that he's going to see on a week-to-week basis. So, and especially a guy that will outperform that if anything happens to DeAndre Swift. So Jamal Williams for me, RB number 43. The 4th running back, Rashad Penny. And this is like the first year, okay? The first year that Rashad Penny is not drawing a bunch of buzz, okay? He's not somebody that's flying up the draft board and being drafted too high. This year, RB number 50, basically he's like free right now. He's somebody that you can take a shot on, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, all right? So he did have an off-season procedure on his knee. It was basically like a cleanup procedure. So really, and they didn't pick up his 5th-year option, so chances of him being with the team next year are very, very slim. But despite all that, all right, he does have Chris Carson ahead of him. Chris Carson is somebody that, even dating back to college, is somebody that has had questions about durability. Last season, Chris Carson missed 4 games. In his 4-year career, Chris Carson has missed a total of 19 games. Now, a lot of that comes to his first year where he missed 12 games, but still, like I said, going back to college, there was questions about his durability in the pros. Now, there's a lot of questions about Rashad Penny's durability, right? This is why I'm saying he's like a lottery pick. I'm taking a chance on lottery picks here where if everything could go right, he could be a league winner, where Would it be that crazy that Chris Carson gets hurt week 1 and possibly tears his ACL, right? Rashad Penny goes in there. This was a guy that some scouts had him rated higher than Nick Chubb. Obviously, we can tell at this point in his career that was a mistake, right? But there were high hopes for him coming out of college. He was 5th in Heisman voting that year that he came out of college. So a guy that in college was an absolute stud. Would it be that crazy? And it'd be pretty crazy, okay? But would it be that crazy where Rashad Penny finally lives up to the hype 1 year in a contract year, the last year of his deal? We'll say that Chris Carson gets hurt. Rashad Penny goes in there and is a stud. He's shown flashes in years past. In the very small, limited work that we've seen him, he's shown flashes. So I don't want to say it's out of the realm of possibility. Obviously, it's very, very unlikely that all that happens. But for somebody late in the draft that I believe in his talent. And on a team where if Chris Carson gets hurt, he could be the guy, a potential league winner. He's somebody that I'm okay pulling the trigger on. Most likely we'll drop him, but you need to drop some people during the season because there's going to be better people to pick up. So somebody that you're probably going to drop during the season, but I'll take my shot, and we'll see if in the first couple of weeks, if anything crazy happens, and he's the guy. So Rashad Penny, number 4. The last player on this list for me is going to be James White. James White is currently being drafted as RB number 51. Last season, he saw 62 targets, which was his lowest since 2015. Now, he did miss 2 games last season. Now, but the big reason why I believe it was the lowest, I mean, missing 2 games is big, but also you have Cam Newton as the quarterback, which Cam Newton didn't really play that well last year. And it was also just a weird year where Cam Newton has to come in and learn an incredibly difficult system. Now he has a full offseason with this team. Maybe the starter might be Mac Jones, but I also believe that's going to benefit James White. I don't care who the quarterback is. James White should outperform RB number 51. Over the past 2 years prior to this last season, the 2 years prior, well, we'll go back even his 4 years. So 4 years with Tom Brady prior to this season. On average, he finishes RB number 25. You no longer have Rex Burkhead on this team. So that frees up it was right around 40 targets. So this is a guy, once again, missed 2 games, still had 62 targets, and now there's no more Rex Burkhead. So he can see upwards to, we'll say, like 90 targets. I believe that 75 targets is easy for him to see this upcoming season when there's really no challenge for him in terms of a pass catching back. Like, there's been a lot of reports coming out about Damian Harris being really good, and I don't doubt that for a minute, but I believe that James White has his role 100% as their pass-catching specialist, their third-down specialist. I don't believe that's going to change, and if he plays a full season, 75 targets easily in the realm of possibility, possibly even more. So somebody that will 100% outperform that RB number 51, especially in a full-point PPR league. Sign me up all day. So James White, the last person, and that does it. If you enjoy this content, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Really appreciate it. New videos every single day. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.